Good Sunday morning and welcome to WGN-TV Political Report. I'm Paul Lisnick. We're getting down to the wire in the race for president. Just over 2 weeks left until Election Day. The candidates and their running mates crisscrossing battleground states, hoping to boost turnout there. A new Emerson College poll shows Harris and Trump just 1 point apart nationally. 49% of likely voters say they'll vote for Harris today, with 48% going for Trump. Another 1% said they're picking somebody else entirely. And 1%, they still don't know what they're going to do. With margins this thin, both campaigns are making a major push to get more voters out to the polls.
We are fighting every single day that your vote is going to count, but only if you get out there and actually cast it. So everybody, make sure you get out there and vote.
This is going to be a tight race until the very end. Look, we are the underdog, and that's why we are, and I am campaigning to earn every single vote, because I intend to be a president for all Americans.
In the swing states, polls show the candidates in a tight race in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and more. With little convincing left to do in deep blue Illinois, Democrats here are hitting the road every weekend, traveling to neighboring states to make their case for Kamala Harris. With a race this close, just a few votes in each precinct could make or break a campaign. Ben Head is the co-founder of Operation Swing State. Ben, good morning. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning, Paul. Thanks for having me.
So talk about the mission, the work of Operation Swing State when your volunteers hit these Michigan and Wisconsin areas.
Absolutely. So, Operation Swing State is a grassroots volunteer-based organization that started because, this year, Chicago area volunteers have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to make an impact on the presidential race that we almost never have. Generally speaking, in Illinois, the presidential race is pretty predictable. This year, however, we find ourselves just a 90-minute drive from the most important battleground precincts that will decide the two swing states, Wisconsin and Michigan, that will ultimately decide this election.
And so just to be clear, the volunteers who join you, they're not going there to register voters, that kind of thing. They're supplied with a list of people who are probably leaning Democratic?
Absolutely. So our folks go up to talk to people that we believe are leaning Democratic and need either a little bit of motivation to vote or a little bit more information to vote. So we give people information about early voting, their polling place, and we also tell them why it's important to us to get out and vote and where the candidates really do stand on the issues.
Is there a relationship between, because obviously Harris is the impetus for the work you do, but when you go to Wisconsin, you've got the Senate race, Tammy Baldwin, and other Absolutely. Local races. In Michigan, you have Elise Slotkin. So are your volunteers up to speed on those races? Because some people might say, well, I'm with Harris, but I don't support Baldwin or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. So we are committed to a Democratic trifecta. So in both Wisconsin and Michigan, we are helping with the Senate races. Every time we go to a door, we're talking about Tammy Baldwin or Elissa Slotkin. There's also several key congressional races in each of those states that we're helping with. And we even get down to the state legislative level. So there are 2 state representatives in Wisconsin and 1 in Michigan that we've been helping for the last 2 months or so.
Does the Trump campaign have similar entities like yourself doing this for Trump and Republican candidates?
Not to my knowledge. We've never come across them.
What makes this the right timing? Because right now, look, the election's a couple of weeks away. You've been doing this for a period of months. I think you started in June. But, some could argue, you could have been doing this, a year ago, Biden was still around, but forget that. But this should have been going on. What minds are changing? Who's going to really be impacted now?
Well, that's a great question. So what we know is that most undecided voters, and there aren't a lot of them left, but they're the folks that will decide this election, most of them will make up their minds in the last 4 days of the election. And that makes those last 4 days so incredibly important. So one of our missions, our primary mission right now with Operation Swing State, is to recruit 4,000 volunteers. That's 1,000 volunteers per day to head out to knock those doors. And folks can sign up to do that and learn more information on our website at operationswingstate.com. We've got canvases leaving every weekend. But that last final weekend is just so important.
I mentioned at the beginning that new Marquette poll, which is essentially showing the race tied. My question for you is, the poll goes on to say that actually both Harris and Trump are kind of underwater in terms of favorability. What kind of things are your volunteers and you hearing from people when you stop at their doors?
Well, it's really interesting because when you talk to people one-on-one at their door, first there's a level of respect being shown to them, right? You're coming to them, you're talking to them one-on-one. And generally speaking, we always have good conversations. Not everybody agrees, but for the most part, the sort of tension and acrimony that we see in some other places doesn't really exist in this instance.
What do you say to people who say, look, sure, I support Harris or Trump, whatever they say, but they say, my one vote isn't going to make a difference. I mean, I'm one person. Millions of people are voting. It doesn't matter.
Well, you know, and a lot of people do think that way. But the thing to remember is, so for example, in the state of Wisconsin, Joe Biden won the state of Wisconsin by about 2 votes per precinct.
2 votes.
2 votes. So when a volunteer goes up, usually they always go out in pairs. So you'll go up with a pair of volunteers. You will guarantee talk to more than two voters per person, and you have just secured that precinct. And we've got, if we recruit the 4,000 volunteers that we need, and they can do so again at operationswingstate.com, that will be enough to knock every one of the precincts that we need to knock, get those 2 votes per precinct, and win.
And what do you say for people who say, okay, I'd like to help out, I'd like to be part of this, but I don't know what I'm doing. Do you train them? Do you get them ready for this?
Oh, absolutely. So one of the interesting things that we find is that well over half of the volunteers that are coming out have never done anything like this before. The closest thing to door they've done is trick-or-treating on Halloween. And so we've got a full set of trainers. We run people through all the training they need, give them all the materials they need, not just to be effective, but also to be comfortable. And then we send them out in pairs. And if it's your first time, we'll send you out with somebody who's experienced, who knows what they're doing, and can show you the ropes.
If somebody has never done this before, you would not say, I guess you would say this is the time to start.
Absolutely. Right? And not only that, but we also host weekly trainings online. People can log in and receive a Canvas training before they head out for that weekend.
To what sense does your work, we're just about done, but does your work make a difference? I mean, can you look and say, we've made a difference here?
Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. So when we started this project, we had hoped to knock about 10,000 doors, which was a fairly ambitious goal. By the end of today, by the end of tonight anyway, we will have knocked well over 100,000 doors.
You've exceeded the goal.
By a bit, yes.
All right.
And we're on track to knock 250,000 by Election Day if we can get all the volunteer signups that we need. So
right.
Again, operationswingstate.com.
All right, you've done the homework, Ben Head. Thanks for being with me, co-founder of Operation Swing State. Thank you for being with me.
Thank you.
Good luck on the road. We're going to take our first break. Up next on WGN-TV Political Report.
It sounds like you can work with Pedro Martinez going forward. He can keep his job, in other words.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
Tamon Bradley goes one-on-one with Mayor Brandon Johnson's chief of staff, what she says about the ongoing fight for the future of Chicago public schools.